Have you ever heard about an athlete who was just so dominant, so completely unstoppable, that the sport itself had to change to handle them? Well, today we're diving into the story of a true giant of sports history. 100. Now, that's not a team score. Nope. That is how many points one man, Wilt Chamberlain, scored in a single professional basketball game. It's a record that's been standing for decades, and honestly, it'll probably stand forever. And that right there, that's the real story, isn't it? This goes way beyond just mind-blowing stats. We're talking about a genuine force of nature that the entire NBA had to basically treat like a puzzle they had to solve. So yeah, let's get into it. Let's break down the almost mythical career of Wilt Chamberlain. We're going to look at his unbreakable records, his just insane physical gifts, and the incredible legacy of the man who was truly bigger than the game. Okay, so first, we have to try and wrap our heads around the numbers. Because with Wilt, the statistics are so wild, they almost sound fake. 50.4. Just let that sink in for a second. That wasn't his best game of the year. That was his average for an entire season. He averaged over 50 points every single night he stepped on the court. To give you some perspective, no other player in the history of the game has ever even managed to average 40. And you know what? It wasn't just scoring. He was an absolute monster on the boards. 55, that's the all-time record for the most rebounds grabbed by one player in a single game. He didn't just play in the paint, he owned it. And this kind of thing, it wasn't just a flash in the pan. I mean, look at this. For 7 straight seasons, Wilt averaged over 30 points and 20 rebounds a game. Let's be real clear. That's a stat line most Hall of Famers would kill to have for one season. He did it for 7 years in a row. So you got to be asking yourself, how on earth was any of this possible? Well, the answer is pretty simple. He was a combination of physical gifts the sports world had just never, ever seen before. For starters, it was his sheer size. Wilt was a true giant. He stood over 7 feet tall. That's more than 2.16 meters. He absolutely towered over pretty much everyone else on the court. But as crazy as that was, his height was really only part of the story. Right, this is the part that was just terrifying for his opponents. He mixed that incredible size with elite, world-class speed and agility. Before he even touched a pro basketball, he was a track and field champion. Just try to imagine someone that big who could also run and jump like an Olympian. That's what the league was dealing with. He was so completely dominant that the NBA had to literally change its own rules. And that, right there, might be the biggest testament to his impact. The game itself had to evolve just to account for one guy. You see, the league actually widened the lane, that painted area near the basket, just to push him a little further away from his comfort zone. They even changed rules about free throws because he was so athletic, he could practically jump and dunk the ball from the free throw line. They had to write new rules to make him seem more human. But see, it's so easy to get lost in the insane scoring and rebounding numbers and think that's all he was. And if you did that, you'd be selling his incredible all-around talent way, way short. Before he even joined the NBA, he was a star for the Harlem Globetrotters, taking his show on the road around the world. But here's the stat that really shows you what he was capable of. In 1968, basically just to prove he could, Wilt led the entire league in assists. Not assists for a center, total assists. More than every single point guard in the NBA. It's just unheard of. Of course, beyond all the individual records and unbelievable skills, a player's legacy often comes down to championships. And Wilt, well, he proved his dominance wasn't just for the record books. It led to winning, too. He was the absolute centerpiece of 2 NBA championship teams. He won a title with the Philadelphia 76ers and then again with the Los Angeles Lakers, proving he could be the main guy for a winning team in different cities with different players. And his larger-than-life personality, well, that didn't stop when he walked off the court. He was an actor, a professional volleyball player, an author, a really sharp businessman. He was a true Renaissance man, always pushing the limits. Which really brings us to the final question, doesn't it? In this age of modern sports science, advanced analytics, and talent from all over the globe, is it even possible for one person to bend a sport to their will the way Wilt Chamberlain did? Or was he truly a once-in-a-species kind of athlete, a man who was simply bigger than the game itself?